Hi, I'm here at Squaremile, here to see my friend Anette, and we're going to be cupping some coffee. We've known each other for a long time now, many years. I met you in after 2007, when you'd just won the World Cupping Championship. Yeah. I just want to know a little bit more about how you got into coffee and a little bit more about your journey.
I started in Norway, where I'm from, working as a barista in a cafe, your typical sort of next to your university studies, evenings and weekends. But you sort of get sucked into it. So when I moved to London to finish off my studies, I stuck with the coffee thing on the side and worked part-time for a coffee importing company. So I was in charge of the lab, and that's where I learned cupping and sample roasting and worked with their customers on creating blends and that sort of thing. At a certain point in sort of 2007, me and my business partner, we decided to sort of put our money where our mouths were and open up a coffee roasting company. We didn't actually start roasting as Squaremile until April 2008. But since then, things have just kind of snowballed and grown, and London and the coffee scene here and in the rest of the UK has grown along with it.
How do you train your senses to be so astute when you're doing something like cupping?
I probably spent like a year listening to the cuppers around me describe what they were tasting and critique my roasting. So I just listened and learned, and eventually kind of started feeling confident enough about the coffees or what I was doing to where I could speak up myself and contribute. You build up sort of a memory, I suppose, a library of flavors in your head that you can draw on. The coffee forms a sort of layer on top, which we call the crust. And it holds in a lot of the aromas and the temperature of the water as well. So what we do is break the crust. Essentially that is plunging our spoon through the surface and just kind of stirring 3 times at the surface level to help those grounds settle down to the bottom. You want to just bring your sort of nose close down so you can catch all the aromas as they release. But as soon as you're comfortable with the heat of it, some people are less sensitive than others. You can sort of get stuck in and start tasting. Different people kind of pick up different things in different order. So I kind of get flavour first. That's the first thing that springs to mind. Other people will kind of feel the texture of the coffee first. When you revisit the coffee throughout the temperatures, you will definitely pick up different things at different points. So that's why we spend at least half an hour tasting coffees and kind of taking a break, resetting your palate with some water or a cracker or something, and then coming back and trying again and again and again.
Recently you wrote your own book called Coffee Obsession, and in it you write quite extensively about the origins of coffee and where they're from. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
We're in a place now where I can actually travel and visit the farms and visit the producers and work with the exporters and taste coffee with the guys that are actually making it, who are actually growing it. And that definitely just furthers your understanding of not just country as origin, but region to different levels of altitude, soils, microclimates, all that sort of stuff. And one of the things that I was trying to do in the book was dispel a little bit of this attitude that all coffee from Colombia tastes like this, and all coffee from Brazil tastes like this. Having kind of hands-on experience and having been there and seen it and tasted it definitely helped give me the confidence to put that across in writing.
I can't imagine that there are very many women travelling to Origin doing what you do, and I think, am I right in thinking that?
It's definitely kind of unusual to be a female coffee buyer. Yeah. There are women out there doing that. There's female roasters, there's female coffee buyers, but I'm still kind of, people will look at me a little bit differently. For sure when I travel. Certainly there's cultural differences, but your work proves your legitimate presence there.
Can you tell me what are you looking for when you do go there?
I go in looking for good people, you know? I think good people will usually do a good job of whatever there is they're doing. So it's finding people who have a similar philosophy to their work, as we try to do at Squaremile, you know, doing something with best intentions and doing the best you can with what you have available, and constantly asking questions and striving for improvement. Always kind of ask yourself questions and question why you do things and how you do them, and find ways of doing things better.